The Laver Cup is finally here, and what a tournament to get us underway here. I'm very much looking forward to it. It's going to be an absolute cracker. Team Europe versus Team Wild, as usual, and of course we're going to go into the teams. Before we do, though, I think it's a good opportunity for those who are not so familiar with the tournament to get to know the tournament a bit better, get to understand what the tournament's about, why it's why it's come about, what the rules are, for example, and why there's a bit of excitement around it, which is always good. So each team, as you can tell from the image, comprises of 6 players led by a team captain. In this instance, the captain of Europe is Bjorn Borg, and the captain of Team World is John McEnroe, who they both came out and did the little unveiling. I think it was yesterday, actually. The 3 of the 6 players qualified based on the ATP rankings, and then there are captains' picks, which are announced by the start of the US Open, which you'll be able to tell by some of the rankings of some of the players, i.e. someone like Nick Kyrgios, who would have been picked just because he is a quality player on his day and also plays very well during the Laver Cup, but hasn't, wouldn't be picked, I think, in Team World if it was for the rankings currently, anyway. In terms of the format, it's played over 3 days. So each day, 4 matches are played, 3 singles and a doubles. Both singles and doubles are best of 3 sets with add scoring, as usual. In the event that it's 1 set all, then the 3rd set will go to a 10-point tiebreaker. So like a championship tiebreaker. Each player competes in at least 1 singles match during the first 2 days. No player can play a singles match more than twice during the 3 days. And at least 4 of the 6 players must play doubles. So that's interesting as well, which is why we have some cool doubles combinations that come about. No doubles combination is playing or is allowed to play. Sorry, no doubles combination is played more than once, unless it's on the decider on day 3 when the points are equal at 12 all, then you can reuse that combination. The winning team must reach 13 points, so that is a cutoff point. You get 13 points, you win. So it's kind of similar, I guess, to the Ryder Cup in terms of I would say, how they put it together. It sounds like in the format, and that's the kind of feel they're going for. That kind of Ryder Cup feel for those of you who are into their golf. And as I said in the event, that there's a tie at 12 all, then we'll go into a final overtime doubles match, a decider. And it plays a regular set with add scoring and a tie break. So it's only 1 set. So very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So let's go into the rest then. Friday's lineups announced on Thursday afternoon. We know all of that. We don't need to know about that. Matchups are determined through the exchange of lineup cards by the captains. That's fine. Laver Cup scoring. So this is interesting. Point scoring. So each match win is worth 1 point on the Friday, 2 points on the Saturday, and 3 points on the Sunday. I think it's starting on Friday, 24th. Am I right? Yeah. And how to win the Laver Cup. So the first team, we've already gone over this. So 13 out of a total, 24 points are available. So yeah, we said about that. Location, so it rotates. I think it's Boston is hosting this Laver Cup. So it's between the 24th and 26th of September. And yeah. I think why not? Why not? Right, so in terms of court surface, indoor hard courts with a retractable roof stadium or an indoor arena, so that's fine. Gone over team captains. Right, let's get into the teams then, and also some of the potential interesting matchups that we might see. So for Team Europe, they've got Daniil Medvedev, Stefanos Tsitsipas, Alexander Zverev, Andrey Rublev, Matteo Berrettini, and Casper Ruud, who I'm sure will be extremely happy to be on the team. I mean, they've got a fantastic team. I mean, they will still go into the favourites, but I think this is probably, like I said in my short, one of the best opportunities for Team World to win. Given that there's no Novak Djokovic, there's no Rafael Nadal, there's no Roger Federer, which that really does bolster up Team Europe even more. So I think, look, they've still got a damn good team. No Dominic Thiem as well. Sorry, talking of teams, no Dominic Thiem as well. So look, it's still a very, very good side. I mean, they've got a lot of the top 10 players. I mean, Daniil Medvedev's one, Tsitsipas another, Zverev's another, Rublev's another, Berrettini's another, and Casper's in the top 10 at the moment. So they've got 6 of the top 10 players. And you take out Nadal and Djokovic, at least 2 of them for World, which I think is correct because Shapovalov and Schwartzman could be incorrect. But yeah, no, sorry, Dominic Thiem. So only one. I think it's Diego Schwartzman is one in the top 10. But they've got a lot of people in the top 20 and also a lot of big servers. So we'll go through that. Diego Schwartzman, Denis Shapovalov, Felix Auger-Alliassime, Opelka, which is Reilly Opelka. Obviously, he's had a fantastic run in the back end of this year. John Isner as well, as when he has played, I think has played fantastic, apart from the US Open, really. And Nick Kyrgios, who I watched live at Wimbledon and was phenomenal, I thought, against Auger-Alliassime in that first round. Made a little run there and then kind of just, which is not surprising, he gassed out in the end, to be fair. He gassed out. So what can you do? What can you do? That's just what happens when you're not playing all the time throughout the year regularly. And but he gets up for it, and he definitely gets up for the Laver Cup, so that'll be interesting. No Jack Sock, who obviously Nick Kyrgios loved playing with, I think, in the last Laver Cup as well, the last couple. So let's talk about it. So the most interesting thing for me is obviously Tsitsipas and Zverev do not get on. Medvedev and Tsitsipas don't get on. I think Medvedev and Zverev are okay, if I'm not mistaken. The biggest thing for me is the doubles pairings now. Who's going to play doubles for Team Europe? I think Zverev has played doubles in the past, so I can see him playing. Tsitsipas, maybe not. Would Medvedev play? Would it be maybe Zverev and Medvedev? Would it be Zverev and Berrettini, 2 big servers? Both pretty decent in the net as well. Casper Ruud, I don't think he'll be playing doubles. Could be mistaken. We'll see. I mean, there's just some really interesting combinations there. Obviously, Medvedev, for those of you who are not super familiar with the players, which I'm sure you all are, Medvedev hits low over the net. Obviously, just won the US Open against Novak Djokovic, so in fantastic form and a phenomenal player, the number 2 seed, number 2 ranked player even. Stefanos Tsitsipas, also in fantastic form for the most part, making the final of the French Open. Also had a little run the US Open, probably not as didn't get as far as he would have liked in that. Wimbledon lost the first round, but in the Australian Open did pretty well to make the semi-finals in the end, actually losing to Medvedev in that semi-final. And then Alexander Zverev making the semis of the US Open, the French Open, and quarterfinals, if I'm not mistaken, at Wimbledon. And, last 16 at Wimbledon and quarterfinal at Australian Open. So not a bad year for him, and also the Olympic gold medalist. So a phenomenal player. Andrey Rublev, I mean, he's been winning Masters 1000 tournaments Masters 500 and 250 tournaments for fun in a lot of cases. Hasn't had a fantastic back end to the year even. Struggled a little bit. Maybe didn't progress as far as he would have liked in the Slam, especially recently in the US Open. But again, a force to be reckoned with. Huge forehand, plays 100 miles an hour. A very kind of all action-packed player. Matteo Berrettini, big server, made the final of Wimbledon, made the quarterfinals of the US Open, and has had a pretty good year for him, to be fair. And his serve is just a phenomenon. Huge forehand as well. And Casper Ruud, who's had a fantastic back end to the year, and that's why he would have been picked. He's an informed player. Obviously, didn't have a phenomenal US Open, but before that, won all the tournaments, won 3 250s in a row, if I'm not mistaken, as well. I think all 2 on clay. So different surface, but then did well on the hard court swing as well. Diego Schwartzman, good all-round player. Probably not the best player on hard courts, but given what Team World have to play with, I think he's obviously going to be in there. Denis Shapovalov, fantastic player, we know that. Big hitter, takes big cuts at the ball, Felix Auger-Aliassime's had a fantastic year, a breakthrough year, you could say. Shapovalov making the semi-final of Wimbledon and Auger-Aliassime making the semi-final of the US Open. So both these guys have made a couple of breakthroughs. Opelka had a fantastic hard court swing, making a final and also doing well in other tournaments as well. Didn't have a phenomenal US Open, but again, he's a danger to anyone on his day. Huge server as well, and pretty good at the net. So I'm assuming he will play some doubles. Probably not alongside John Isner, I would assume, but I think John Isner might. They will be half of half of two of the pairings, Isner and Opelka. You would assume. You never know, though. John Isner, again, really good year all round. I've been impressed with him when he has played. He hasn't played a lot of matches this year because of his kind of refuses to travel because of the kind of current situation with the pandemic, etc., and hasn't really been in a position where he's been comfortable to travel without family, which is understandable. So he hasn't been doing it too much either. And also, then we had Nick Kyrgios. I mean, how good has Nick Kyrgios been when he's been up and kind of just tuned in? I mean, the guy is an absolute beast, and I mean, if he can replicate some of the form that we've seen from him, in previous Laver Cups and just in general, then he's going to be an absolute nightmare for anyone to play against. And again, love some doubles as well. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the matchups. Let's see how it goes. I think, I actually think it's pretty well matched. I think Team Europe definitely have the better team, but I just think Nick Kyrgios is, on his day, he's a top 10 player, no doubt. Same with FA, same with Shapovalov. They're around about top 10 now. You could say they're within that top 10 if you kind of look up form recently. Opelka and Isner are top 15, top 20 in terms of form, I would say, and Schwartzman's in the top 15, top 20 as well. So they're not too far off. And I think it's their best opportunity since the Laver Cup's inauguration, to be honest, a few years back. So let's see how it goes. It's going to be really exciting. The doubles, I think, for me, is always fun because a lot of these players, they haven't played a lot of doubles in comparison to singles, obviously, because most of them are singles players. And to see the kind of dynamic between them is quite interesting and quite fun. And it's just a really good tournament. I really enjoy it. So let's see how it goes. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Please remember to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. And of course, check us out on Patreon as well if you want to support the channel even further. You can contribute as little as £1 a month, and you get some cool little perks there as well. So do check it out. I will also be releasing. I have recorded one of them. I should be recording the other to the US Open collabs with 2 different channels. So do keep an eye out for that as well. We will, of course, be doing that. And I'll be releasing them this week, hopefully, as well. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.